you're still working and you're not a millionaire, but if you are investing in these syndications, doing different things, there's a lot of that forced appreciation. That's where we're getting that millionaire status from. It's like, hey, I saved up $50,000. I'm going to invest in a $10 million apartment complex. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Glad, much better now you're here, and we can talk about how we all can become passive millionaires.
Yeah, sure. So like you said, I'm Arthur Raine. I'm the COO of Professional Solutions, and I handle all the operations for all of our grouping of companies. We build, buy, sell, manage, and maintain multifamily properties. And now we're in the syndication game as well, trying to get as many investors as possible in the market and creating that level of passive income that I think everybody really hopes that they can achieve. There's a bunch of misnomers on passive income. They say that, it's income that's derived by no work at all. And that's absolutely inaccurate. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of pre-planning. It takes a lot of work on the front end to be in a position to be able to invest in a way where you can create truly passive income. But if you're willing to take that next step, and if you can push that fear aside, obviously, that is definitely a good way to go about doing it and enjoying the benefits of being in a syndication where you can be in a very large property, 1, 2, 300 units. So you get that power of volume without all of the headache that I get to deal with every single day, which I love and enjoy, dealing with our residents and dealing with owners and dealing with leaky faucets and toilets and things of that nature. And so every single day we look to improve the possibility for people to invest, but also improve the way that we can help and manage our owners and our current properties. And so I'm just really happy to talk about that, and I look forward to diving in.
So tell me and our audience, what kind of really separates you, Professional Solutions, from other property management companies? Because I've kind of seen a lot out there, a lot of regional and a lot of national ones.
Yeah, and most property management companies, if you look at them, they have the ability to offer a maintenance solution. And the thought process behind that is that they can fix anything that goes wrong within your property. But if you look at that, they're generally going after other contractors that have businesses that handle plumbing or that handle HVAC or that handle those types of things. Whereas within our company, we have multiple companies. So as I stated, we buy, sell, but we also manage and maintain all under one roof. And in doing so, we have our own maintenance staff, so we can allow volume pricing to be passed along both to the owner, but also have an extremely quick turnaround for our residents. So during the pandemic, obviously, if you called in an HVAC issue, during that period of time, it would take 4 or 5 weeks at times for people to come out and look at it. We were able to do that within 3 or 4 days. At this point in time today, if you call an HVAC tech, they're going to say they're going to be with you sometime within the next 3 to 5 business days, unless you want to pay emergency prices, and they can get out within the next 24 hours. Generally speaking, if you call on an HVAC issue with us, we're going to have somebody out there within the next few hours. And it's because we have those people on staff that are trained, and we spend the time to both train our employees, but also to really build other businesses. So people that worked for, larger HVAC companies or larger electrician companies or what have you, that said, hey, we want to start a business. We partner with them. We assist them in finding insurances and starting LLCs and really building a business from the ground up. And so because of that, they are very loyal to our company, but also they're just a great business partner that we can help grow and that we can grow with, because we're all about that abundance mindset. We're all about growing together. And really, anytime we can help anybody, that's what we're trying to do. And the number one goal of Professional Solutions is to ensure that we are a very strong community partner And that's in every way. That's both for our residents, that's for the local area around us, our philanthropy in those areas, but also how we help others grow their business and become a partner with us.
Can you kind of tell me, where did Professional Solutions come from? And then what's your expansion plans? Where are you going?
Sure. I always try to say that I'm going to give a short story, but I tend to be a long-winded individual. So people are like, oh, goodness, here we go. So about 30 years ago, it started as a small investment with two brothers-in-law. They slowly built their businesses up, adding on, unit by unit by unit until they got a decent number together, and then they were able to leverage those units into a larger grouping of units. Fast forward that to about 7 years ago, they had about 300 units and started the property management company and the maintenance company. The partners that were a part of that started to take that solution and say, hey, we're going to provide a service that is unusual to the market that we're currently in. We're going to provide all these different mechanisms to be able to fully service not just owners, but the residents themselves. And in doing so, we've went from 300 units to well over 2,000 units, and on track to be at 4,000 doors managed and maintained by the end of next year.
Let's switch gears. Let's talk about what it really takes to become a passive millionaire. I know that Professional Solutions worked very hard to build its brand, and put a lot of sweat equity into building these properties, putting a lot of money and funds into these things, but not everybody has the time to do that, and not everyone really can or has the knowledge to. So let's really talk about how you guys are helping people become passive millionaires.
Yeah, so that's a unique opportunity there. So like you said, we take these properties, and for many years now, we've taken C and B properties, and we've taken them under our wing, and within the first 9 to 12 months, we've put, a lot of money into them and a lot of maintenance into them to improve them and to improve the quality of life that the residents have there. In doing so, it gives us a unique perspective on how you transform and change properties into something that really can be lucrative for investors as well. And so in doing that, we said, if we create a syndication, if we bring other investors in and don't show them the methodology that we use necessarily, but we let them be a part of the journey that we have and how we take a property, improve that property, and really reposition it. It's lucrative to those individuals, but they also get to see that process and really be a part of changing the culture of a region, right? And so the thought process when it comes to creating a passive millionaire, that's something that each individual has to go on that journey, and they have to make that decision. One of the big goals that we have, no matter what industry we're looking at and how we're looking at them, is how can we improve the individual. So like I said, we work with our contractors to help them build their businesses and set up their insurances and LLCs and things of that nature. Same thing goes for our investors. Our investors usually come to us 20, 30, 40 units and say, hey, I want to purchase these 20 units. I'm using equity from my home. I'm using 1031 cash. I'm using money from, some type of inheritance, what have you, right? And we take that and we say, what we're going to do is, if we're going to work with you, we're going to improve your portfolio, and we're going to continue to grow you as an owner, and we're going to turn you into a real estate mogul. That's our goal every time, right? And so, a lot of our owners, they came to us, they bought 10 units, they bought 20 units. Now they own 300, 400, 500, 600. We have a couple that own 900 units. And so the goal is always to find ways to teach our ownership, to really partner with our ownership, but also to go on that journey with them and kind of ride that wave and be a part of all that growth and all that expansion. Same thing goes for how we're going to handle our syndications as well, is that, our goal is to show and provide instruction on how you can, invest your money, take a step back, get regular updates, but also receive that passive income. And part of the thing I said before, in the lead-in was that, passive income has this misnomer that for some reason it means you do no work to receive it. And that's not accurate. because taking that first step, taking that first true thought process of I'm going to invest my money. It could be make or break for some people. It may be, the only money that they have saved up. It could be something that they've been waiting to do for a very, very, very long time. But the goal is always to enhance people's lives and to set them on that path to be, that passive millionaire next door, right? So that's how we do it. And that's how I think is probably the best way, because we try to educate everybody and educate ourselves before we jump into something. And you're always going to run into obstacles. You're always going to run into issues. But that is by far the best strategy when you're taking this ride, is to partner with somebody who is always trying to grow you and that you're always trying to grow.